Hi everyone, it's Bobbi-Jo and welcome to my home. I am coming to you today to talk about this little tool that I got from AliExpress. I've been using it for maybe a month or more. I got it for like $5, I think it was. First of all, just observations of it. Love how heavy it is. You can see how thick it is. If you take my stainless steel ruler and how thick it is, you can tell a big difference between them. So this is my ruler. This is my tool. So really thick compared to my ruler. So what this tool is mostly for album builders. But I can see other uses for it as well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some other things that people can do with it. So there's a few different things I want to show just so that you know what it is and maybe see if it's a tool for you. So the first thing is when you're making an album, you have to have an outline. So what you do is you have this piece of chipboard, for instance, and you have to have something, you're going to wrap your cardstock around it. So what you can do with this is just take your cardstock, and if you want to, this is 3/4 of an inch across. So if you want your cardstock about 3/4 of an inch around, so you want this basically in the center, then you're going to go like that and you'll have your 3/4 of an inch around. And that way you can just take this and glue it on. So we'll go ahead and do that. I always use Eileen's glue unless it's something really special that I need a different seal for. So there it is. We know that it's in the center that way. And I will just get that sealed. Now, usually with me, I want an inch in there. I want an inch around. And yes, these are just two tools that I took. They're just chipboard. And they're an inch, and I like that inch around so that I have a little bit more, but the 3/4 of an inch is fine, especially for a smaller album. Now I'll show how I typically do my corners. So my corners, I usually just make a little square there, and then I take it and I fold down from the corner so that this makes a square on your thing. So when you go and you burnish these two sides, you're going to get almost a perfect square. And then I bring them up like that. And that gives me a nice clean corner. However, with this tool, it's a little bit different. One moment, please. You never have what you need when you go to do these things. So with these ones, you have this corner thing here. So what you do is you put it on the corner of the, what do I have underneath here? Oh, it's warped. I've been using it in my Big Shot. So you've got this corner, so you put it up against the give you a little bit, show you a little bit closer here. You're going to put it up against that chipboard. And you're going to take your knife and just come across here. And that will take that off. You then have about 1/8 of an inch between your corner and the outside. Now, typically what I do at this point is I close it. And I will, at this point, I will just close, do the glue on that as well. And then what I do, I'm just going to get closer in here. I then take my thing, and there is, oh, sorry, I'm out of your shot here. You can see where I have burnished that piece down. And then when I bring this over at that point, so I'm going to bring this over here. It makes the corner look like that. So it's a very clean corner. I've been using this for ages. However, note that this is usually too thick if I want corner protectors on. So this would be really good if I like those protectors. And all you need to do is burnish that little area right there. Some people just push it in. I prefer to burnish it, and it just looks like a cleaner corner. So that is one type of corner it does. Now, we're going to set up another one here. I'm going to put that in there. And I'm going to show you another way you can do your corners with it. Okay, first of all, I have to, I'm not doing this right, so I'll put that away and take this one. So the first thing is that you're going to line up this up against a corner. So you've got that curved corner there, and that's what we want so that we can take our pencil and go around that curved corner on. Now we might even want to come in a little bit more. I think I'll do that actually, just so I can have a proper curve. There. So I'm going to curve that around. So oh. I'm not great at turning corners without my corner rounder. So, forgive me. But that's close enough, I think. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to add this to our cardstock. Okay, so our cardstock is there. Our tool's here. And then we're going to do this so that it lays, we're going to burnish it. Okay. So what happens now is that this goes around that corner. If I had to cut it better, it would look a little bit better, but it is what it is. Then we're going to take our pencil and go around like this. So what's going to happen with that is we've got our curve right there. What's going to happen is that you're going to come around, curve that, And then what happens is that they kind of cut around that corner like this, just little snips. And they wind those snips around. So we're going to try to do this as quickly as we can. So I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to bring something else in here. And while that dries, I will show you something else here. All right. So we're taking our original piece, and I'm just going to pretend this is down. All right. That's what I like about Eileen's. It's quick. You don't have to do much to get it down. All right. So another thing this can do is, with this little hole here, you can actually find place a hole where you can get like an elastic in. For instance, if you have a book like this, where it's got the elastic on the back, and how you open it is with this, and it comes around. So you have the back like that, and that's how you close it. Now, what this does is you put it up against that corner, and you mark it. And then you come down to the next corner that you want to, and you mark it there. And when you punch those holes, they're going to be in where you want that elastic to go in order for it to function well. So I like that as well. And finally, the thing that that I like about it as well is, I'm going to just put this down. I'm going to use the same. It has this 1 3/8 of an inch piece to it. And what that is so that you can go up against it here. You can put it right up against, I'm going to make sure you guys can see. You can put it right up against the side of your chipboard. You put this chipboard right up against these ledges here. And then you can come in with your spine or another section and go right in there. I'm here, there. You can go right in there, and you can have the perfect 6 3/4, 1/8 of an inch in between each section. So that, I come down here, I make sure it's the same down here, and that is giving you the perfect piece between your say your spine and your next section or what have you. It just makes it so that it moves a little bit better. It also makes it so that it doesn't crack, things like that. So I found it very, I thought it was a very good tool. The only thing I don't like about it, I wish this was longer. I do longer albums. I do not like having to have this so that it's there. I get it lined up, and then I have to take it and bring it down here. And the reason I don't like doing that is because sometimes the bottom goes in on me if it's too long. So if it will be fine up top because I lined it up perfectly, but then I have a longer bottom. I have to come down, and I sometimes see that the bottom is actually either too narrow here, or a little too large. So on smaller albums such as this one, there's a big difference, and you can easily do it. Even if you want to move the thing around, you still have the ability to do that. It's on a larger album, I find that it's a little bit annoying. So I would have probably made this a little bit longer, but I get why they didn't. You may have, they may have wanted, I don't know, a separate tool maybe, or something that would kind of turn out, I don't know, but I kind of wish that was longer. You've got the perfect square corner here you can trace out, which is great. Yeah, so here is what the corner looks like when it is rounded. So I like that look. I just don't like how it's done, because when you're wrapping that around, you have to cut those in order to make that curve, and you can see the cut lines sometimes. So anyways, I don't find that I'm going to use this much, but I will use this a lot, and I will use this a lot. Even with this, I could say, okay, I want ribbons on this. So I want to put those holes in, and then I'm going to take a ribbon, put it through this, and then have the ribbon close the book from the back. So, but you can see how nice of a seam that makes. But yeah, anyways, do I think it's worth $5 or a little bit more or a little bit less? Absolutely. I think they have the quality there for sure. The it's heavier, so they didn't cheap out on the quality. I really like this. I think I'll probably do more corners that have corner protectors on them. Even though I do love my tried and true from Mixed Up Crafts. She does this. But I can see myself liking this as well. Yeah, so that is the tool. I think I showed you everything that I am doing with it. I'm sure people can find more things to do with it. So anyways, I will let you guys go, and thank you very much for stopping by. All right, bye-bye.